I'm William Holtz with Lake TV, and I'm excited to welcome you to a very important night of local forums right here on Lake TV, presented by SRG Financial Advisors, the home of the mile marker formula. A big shout out to the Lake Area Chamber of Commerce for collaborating with us on tonight's forum, as well as our official news partners, the Business Journal. Now, as much as we all complain and let our opinions be known on the national politics, it should go without saying that our local elected officials are the ones that affect us the most. Tonight's forum will include candidates for Camden County, including the presiding commissioner, clerk of the circuit court, associate circuit court judge, circuit judge of the 26th Circuit, prosecuting attorney, associate circuit judge Division 4, auditor, collector, county clerk, and the recorder of deeds. With that being said, we applaud you for tuning in and getting involved. Tonight's broadcast on Lake TV is presented by SRG Financial Advisors, the home of the mile marker formula, and brought to you by these generous sponsors. Now, sit back and get ready for a great night of getting to know the candidates. At this point, I'm honored to turn it over to our moderator for tonight, broadcasting live from the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar, Luke Hagedorn.
Thank you, Will. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar, our host for the 2022 Meet the Candidates Forum for the Circuit Clerk election to be held on Tuesday, August 2nd. This joint forum is a result of a collaborative effort by the Lake Area Chamber of Commerce and is presented by Lake TV. We welcome all the viewers who are joining us either online or live on Lake TV. There will be two candidates on the ballot running for a 4-year term. We are pleased to have both candidates in attendance this evening, Clapton and Kayla Henry. Ladies, thank you for joining us. On behalf of the Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, Lake TV, and the voters of Camden County, I'd like to thank you for your attendance and your participation and look forward to getting to know each of you a bit better and learn about your thoughts and views of the office of the Circuit Clerk. Before we get started, we have a few ground rules to cover. Each candidate will be allowed 2 minutes for an opening and closing statements and 1 minute to respond to selected questions. We have a timekeeper up front. Once the question is complete and the response begins, the clock will start. Please be aware of your time, or I will be obliged to make you aware. I will let you finish your thought in a reasonable amount of time, but if you start a new one after the time has elapsed, I will have to intervene. If there are no questions or concerns, we will start with our opening comments. Again, each candidate will have 2 minutes. Determined by a random draw, our first speaker will be Clapton. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, and thank you to the Lake Area Chamber of Commerce and Lake of the Ozarks Business Journal and Lake TV for hosting this event. My name is Clapton. I'm married to my wonderful husband, Philip. We have 3 children and 5 grandchildren. I graduated from Max Creek High School and attended Drury University in Springfield. I have lived most of my life in Camden County, and we own a farm north of Max Creek where we raise beef cattle. I have deep roots in this county that can be traced back over 170 years. And I'm a true conservative Republican. I am pro-life. I'm against abortions. I support the Second Amendment, our right to keep and bear arms. I believe in lower taxes and less government in our pockets. Camden County has been good to our family. It's my home, and it's where I want to contribute my expertise through public service. I was a deputy clerk in the Camden County Circuit Clerk's office for 11 years, and then I moved on up to the federal court for 9 years. I was highly recommended by the current circuit clerk and several judges for the federal position. When I was hired on at the federal level, there were not only criminal and civil background checks, they also checked my social media, credit reports, and did extensive interviews with my employer and references. I have had numerous continuing education classes and training through the court system. I am the only candidate that is a federally certified courtroom deputy clerk. I'm happy to be here, and thanks again for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Our next candidate with an opening statement will be Kayla Henry. Kayla, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you for having me here. I am a lifelong conservative, born and raised in Camden County. When growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents on their farm where they raised and bought feeder calves. I also spent a lot of time at the sale barns and cattle feedlots. I grew up showing steers and hogs in the local county fairs. My husband and I have 2 children and 1 grandchild. My family and I live on a small farm in southern Camden County. My family and I live on a small farm in southern Camden County and enjoy the outdoors, camping, boating, fishing, and we all share a passion for hunting. I am a graduate from Richland High School, and shortly graduating, I went to work for Camden County Assessor's Office. I was appointed assessor in April of 2015 and served until September of 2017 after being defeated by nearly 100 votes in the Republican primary. After I left the assessor's office, I went to work for Joe McElwee in the circuit clerk's office, and I am thankful for that opportunity to be working for the citizens of Camden County once again. I have worked for Camden County for nearly 15 combined years.
We put a call out to the community for pertinent questions regarding this particular election, and we had a great number of questions submitted and had to make some tough choices to pare them down in the interest of time. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to the selected questions. We'll rotate the order of those questions. We'll start the first one with Kayla here. Many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here, or what kept you here in the Lake area?
I think the Lake area is a wonderful place to live. You have the rural area, you also have the lake. Therefore, if you want to go fishing, if you want to just go out on a boat ride, we also have a lot of tourism here, and the stores are just wonderful. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to stay living in Camden County.
Very good. Same question for you. Many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here or kept you in the Lake area?
Well, I am a native to Camden County. My roots can be traced back over 170 years. And I think what's kept me here is just a great community to live in and raise your family in. Everyone knows one another when you go into town. And I think it's a great area. It has so much to offer with the lake and the industries around here. I love living in Camden County. This is home. It's where I want to be.
Very good. Moving on to the next question, and we'll start with you, Karen. If elected, what would be your main priority in the initial days of taking office? What immediate changes might you make?
I think one of the first things I would do when taking office is meet with the judges and hear their concerns and possible changes that need to be made in the office. Look over the budget and make sure the money is allocated appropriately, and analyze their employees and their certifications and see who needs more cross-training and take it from there.
Very good. Same question for you. If elected, what would be your main priority in the initial days of taking office? What immediate changes might you make?
If elected, I don't foresee any major changes that need to be made on day one. I feel Joe McElwee, the current circuit clerk, has run a wonderful and efficient office for the past 20 years. I do, however, want to focus on scanning our archived cases in order to make those more accessible if a request for those records is received. If elected, I plan to be involved with Missouri Circuit Clerks Association to work on a training solutions for upcoming new court systems being implemented. I would like to help develop a standardized training program for Missouri Circuit Clerks and Deputy Clerks. A standardized training program means citizens of Missouri can expect the same professional service in every circuit clerk's office they visit.
Very good. Moving on to the next question, and we'll start with you again, Kayla. As a steward of tax dollars, how do you plan to approach budgeting and spending in your office?
I think that our office, so far, we're always right there under budget. I think just going and looking at the budget is the first thing I would need to do, and making sure if there's any training that we could utilize the money for training. A lot of our budget, the jury comes out of our budget if we have jury trials. That's something else that we would have to keep looking at on the budget.
Very good. And again, for Karen Clapton, as a steward of tax dollars, how do you plan to approach budgeting and spending in your office?
Well, Camden County had over 6,889 cases filed last year. And state courts has a formula they use to tell us how many employees we need to get the job done for the amount of cases filed. So we have 14 state employees per our caseload. I have spoken to several other first-class counties in the state that is comparable in size to Camden County. And what is concerning as a taxpayer, I have learned that Camden County is the only one that I have found to employ 6 employees. Most of the other counties have none or 2 at most. I understand that we now have 3 small municipalities that is taken care of by the Circuit Clerk's office. But for instance, Pettis County has all of the Sedalia municipals, and they don't have any county employees. As a taxpayer, I want to look into further and see why. I want to have complete transparency and accountability in that office.
Thank you very much. I think we have time for at least one more question here. And so we'll start again with Karen. What qualities does a circuit clerk need to be successful?
I think the qualities a circuit clerk needs to be successful is they need to have strong leadership skills and to be able to communicate effectively. They need to have a thorough understanding of how the office runs. And with my 20 years of court experience, I have that. I have worked in various different departments in that office, and it takes an extensive amount of time to learn all of those. I think knowledge will really help me be the leader in that office and what it takes to run it.
And for you, what qualities does a circuit clerk need to be successful?
I think not only with experience, but strong leadership skills. I think with personally running an office in my past, I think is a huge benefit. I know how to manage people. I've done interviews. I've had to even discipline and fire. So I know what that takes. I think being able to work with our judges and our prosecutors, sheriff's office, and having a good working relationship with your employers or employees is a huge plus.
All right, how are we looking on time, guys? We have time for one more question here. All right, we'll do one more question, and so that'll start with you, Kayla. How do you determine priorities when you have numerous tasks at hand?
I think the number one priority would be conducting court. So if we have a docket, then we need to make sure that that docket is run and up to the judges so that way court can start on time. And next would be the ongoing phone calls. We have to make sure we answer those phone calls and get them where they need to go. We need to help the public. Another thing is our filings. We get filings every single day. We do prioritize the filings as they come in. If you get a dismissal case, then you need to make sure you have that dismissed immediately, or a warrant recall, you need to make sure you have that recalled. We also get emails from judges for orders, and if that order needs to be taken over to the sheriff's office, then we need to make sure we do that as soon as possible.
And finally, for Karen Clapton, how do you determine priorities when you have numerous tasks at hand?
I think to determine the priorities, you need to see which is most pressing. And if it's, if it has to do with the court system, you need to make sure the court docket's ready, or maybe a warrant needs to be signed by a judge. It just depends on which is most pressing, and get that to the top of the list and then move on from there and take it from there.
Thank you very much. That concludes our question and answer portion of the evening, and we will now give each candidate an opportunity to make a closing statement of up to 2 minutes. We will go in reverse order of the opening statements, and again, please be aware of the timekeeper. This is your chance to speak directly to your constituents and ask them for your vote. In reverse order, that means Kayla Henry will go first. Kayla, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I have a passion to serve and help people, and I believe that elected officials have a duty to serve the citizens of the community. Government officials are chosen by the people for the people. Over the years, I have developed strong working relationships with the attorneys, the sheriff's office employees, local and visiting judges, and the prosecuting attorney's office. And my coworkers have encouraged me to run for the circuit clerk. It is my belief that we should elect the best candidate for the position, and I feel that my experience as a former office holder and more inside knowledge of the circuit clerk's office qualifies me as the best candidate to manage a successful office.
Thank you very much. And our final candidate with the closing statement, Ms. Karen Clapton. You have 2 minutes.
Experience in this job is tremendous. It carries a lot of responsibility to oversee the employees and keep the wheels of justice running smoothly. The circuit clerk is a partisan position, as any other elected official's position in this county. It is important we vote into that office. Camden County is a truly conservative county, and I believe the citizens want to elect someone that aligns with someone in that position that aligns with their beliefs and morals, and I know I can do that. They don't want someone who crosses party lines to advance their career. With the circuit clerk retiring, it's time for new leadership. This office has been ran by the same eyes and ears for the last two decades. I think that's enough time to become complacent and stagnant in leadership, and I do believe that I could bring some new energy and fresh approach. There are some ways that this office could make some changes to save taxpayer money and improve efficiency. My 11 years' experience in the circuit clerk's office gives me an incredible amount of knowledge of the duties in this office. I have proven that I can make strong management decisions and communicate effectively. I can lead an office environment of kindness, professionalism, and efficiency. I am not saying you should just vote for me because I am a true conservative. I am not saying you should just vote for me because I haven't crossed party lines. I am saying you should vote for me because I have 20 years of court experience and I am the most qualified candidate for this position. I'm the person that you can trust to be the next circuit clerk. My name is Karen Clapton, and I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd. Thank you.
And this concludes our 2022 Camden County Circuit Clerk Meet the Candidates Forum. Thank you to Lake TV, Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar for all their efforts in producing the forums for this election cycle. This valuable service to the voters of our communities would not have happened without the selfless efforts of so many folks. Also, thank you to the candidates for your willingness not only to join us this evening to let the voters hear directly from you, but for your willingness to put your name on the line in an effort to serve your fellow citizens. Thank you to all who tune in tonight, and make sure you make your voice heard at the polls on August 2nd. Godspeed, everyone. Good night.